Hi, I'm Mike Anthony from Gramercy Tavern. Today I'm making a dish called braised chicken with mushroom sauce. Very simple ingredients: onion, garlic, and fresh mushrooms, chicken thighs, and fresh herbs. I have 2 knives set aside for this task. One's a small chef knife and the other is a paring knife. Let's peel the garlic. Just gonna take this whole head and put a little bit of pressure on it to loosen up a couple of cloves. Just a little bit of pressure with the back of the knife allows for the skin to pop right off. Right, I'm going to smash these 3 cloves of garlic. Again, just a little pressure crushes the garlic and releases their flavor. All right, we're gonna just take the top off of this onion, trim the root end, and quickly peel. To slice the onion, pretty simple technique. With that sharp knife, I'm gonna cut it in half. And then holding my hand in a C shape so that I don't have the chance to cut any of my fingertips, I'm gonna first cut vertically, and then I'm gonna make a couple of horizontal cuts. This allows the onion to stay intact while I come back and make a small dice quickly and easily. Next, let's slice the mushrooms. These are called shiitake mushrooms. The only part of this mushroom that we're not gonna use is the stem. So before slicing, I'll remove the stem. Let's slice these into thick pieces. You can substitute any mushroom that you like. In this case, I also have a mushroom that's called a trumpet royale. And we're all set and ready to start cooking this dish. Little splash of olive oil. And as soon as that's nice and hot, I'll add the chicken. We're gonna brown this chicken on the skin side, and then we'll flip it to make sure that it starts cooking evenly. Once it's browned on all sides, I'm gonna take the chicken out. Remember, the chicken's not fully cooked. It's just waiting for us to create the rest of the dish. All right, now I'm adding the onions and the garlic. Just about 3 minutes. The technique I'm using for this dish actually comes from French cooking, but there's nothing fancy about it. Searing the chicken, adding the onions, deglazing with vinegar is one of the most classic approaches to building great flavor in food. Next, I'm gonna add the mushrooms and give it a good stir. A tablespoon of butter, a little salt and pepper, and let's put just a little bit of chili flake to let us live longer. I'm gonna add some fresh herbs, dill, and cilantro. You can use any fresh or dried herbs just to bring some nice aromatics to this dish. I'm gonna put the chicken back into the pot, right on top of all of the onions and mushrooms and herbs. And now it's time to deglaze with a little bit of vinegar. I'm using red wine vinegar. You can hear what's happening in the pan. It's hot, and that liquid is evaporating quickly. So we want for all the vinegar to completely reduce and evaporate before we move on in the recipe. This is where the magic is happening. Smell this. Wow! Once the vinegar is almost completely evaporated, we want to give it a splash of wine. Might as well do a quality check beforehand. We're in good shape. About half a cup of wine. We're gonna let this liquid evaporate almost down to completely dry. The alcohol in the wine is burning off. It smells great. We don't want to waste any flavor at all. With such a simple and frugal dish, every drop counts. Let's listen to this for 1 second. That music has changed just a little bit, and we want to add just a little more liquid. I'm using water today. If you have chicken stock or some other broth that you'd like to use, that's great too. I'm gonna bring it to a simmer, and then I'm gonna put this heavy lid on the pot and turn down the heat so that it stays at a slow simmer. 20 minutes later, let's take a look at this chicken and see how it looks. All right, that sauce is starting to come together. The chicken is braised and cooked through. Let's remove the chicken and reduce the sauce just a couple minutes further, and then we're ready to sit down and eat. Let's plate. We have these beautiful mushroom pieces, sauce that's reduced. We'll add the chicken right in the center of the plate, a little bit of mushrooms on top. Let's finish with a pinch of sea salt and some herbs. There you go. That is the braised chicken with mushroom sauce. If you enjoyed this video, and I hope it will encourage you to cook this dish at home.